good, YouTube? We back in the fucking building. 2K the God here, my man Sess. Welcome to the Gods of Boxing Talk. Now, I got a question for all you cats out there. So, after Terence Crawford thoroughly demolishes Viktor Postol last Saturday, I mean, I didn't even give Viktor Postol a round, and I counted the knockdowns, and I counted the point deduction, with all it totaled up to be 120 to 105, which ended up being a straight basketball blowout, NBA type of fucking score, B. You know, straight up, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, you could argue that Viktor Postol maybe won 2 rounds, which is round 1, maybe round 3 being what you mentioned earlier about, you know, Terence Crawford ducking to the right in the southpaw position, and Viktor Postol landing a nice hook on him when he ducked to the right. But at the same time, Terence Crawford came back with 3 or 4 punches of his own that all landed flush. So those were the 2 big events in that round. I had to get around to Terence Crawford. So you really can argue just one goddamn round for Viktor Postol. I mean, this is a complete fucking wash, B.
Yeah.
So the pound for pound rankings before the fight, Terence Crawford was ranked number 6. Okay. After the fight, Terence Crawford moved up 1 spot at number 5. Exactly. He took Guillermo Rigondeaux's spot. Okay. My question is, should Terence Crawford be top 3 pound for pound? Now let me go down the list. Number 4 is Andre Ward. Number 3 is Gennady Golovkin. Number 2 is Sergey Kovalev. Number 1, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Should Terence Crawford take the spot of either Roman Gonzalez, Sergey Kovalev, or Gennady Golovkin? What do you think, boys?
Man, that's a really tough question. I can't necessarily say whose ranking he should take, but you can make a case that he could take any of those guys' rankings. Chocolatito at number 1, Sergey at number 2, and Golovkin at number 3. When I look at Terence Crawford's body of work, and you compare it to these guys' body of work, it's probably better than what these guys have done. Crawford has beaten, like I said, he's beaten Gamboa, he's beaten Beltran, he's beaten Burns, he's beaten Viktor Postol, he's beating all of these guys. You know, that's just 4. He beat Hank Lundy, he beat Derry Jean. I mean, if I'm gonna rank Golovkin at number 3, and he's beaten Murray and Martin and Gale and all of these motherfuckers, why would I not put Terence Crawford at least at number 3? If I look at Sergey Kovalev, and the most notable names on his resume are Bernard Hopkins and Jean Pascal, why would I not put Terence Crawford at number 2? You know what I mean? So I definitely think, man, you could make a case putting him at least 2 or 3, preferably at number 2, possibly at number 1, because he has the body of work to support those rankings. Kovalev and Golovkin, to me, like I said, if I'm comparing resumes, why would I not put this guy up there? You know what I mean? The bigger argument for me is, why the fuck is Andre Ward at number 4? You know,
we went over that.
yeah. You know, but at the end of the day, absolutely, man. He should not be number 5. He should at least be 1, 2, or 3. I think his resume supports that ranking. I think his body of work supports that ranking. I mean, come on. Man. You know, what else does guy have to do?
Man, so everyone on YouTube knows that, you know, Sess is my man, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's my boy, but I completely disagree with your motherfucking ass on this one, bro.
Okay. Give it to me.
Okay, so the only thing I agree with what you said is his body of work is better than Gennady Golovkin. It's not better than Sergey Kovalev. It's definitely not better than Roman Gonzalez. Now, I don't think Roman Gonzalez should be number one. My number one pound for pound is Sergey Kovalev. Roman Gonzalez has beaten like fuck, dude. He's beaten somewhere between. I had it written down a while ago, bro, because I counted them all up for this cat that didn't know anything about Roman Gonzalez. He's beaten at least 8 world champions, bro. 8
Nice.
current or former world champions. He's dominated the smaller divisions.
Okay.
A couple of those guys, I think his name was like Juan Palacios. I can't remember his first name. He was dominated by Roman Gonzalez, and then now he is the current champion at his given weight class. He is actually a 3-time champion, but he was dominated by Roman Gonzalez. So Gonzalez's body of work is extra. It's excellent, but it goes unnoticed because he's at the smaller weights.
Smaller divisions, absolutely.
He's got to be 1 or 2. I put Kovalev over him because he's beaten a Hall of Fame fighter. I understand. He was 50 years old, but he was beating everybody. He was beating guys en route to Sergey Kovalev, okay? And he held a title twice in that age range. So he was still a live contender. It's only when he loses to Kovalev the way he did that you hear, oh, well, he was 50. Nah, bro,
absolutely.
you can't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? He was a live contender, and he was a champion. He went in there and lost to Kovalev. So he beat a legitimate Hall of Famer, even though he was 50 years old. Then he beat a legitimate high-class light heavyweight and Jean Pascal twice. Now, I know the second one was a foregone conclusion, and it was like, why the fuck is he fighting this dude? But you can't erase the fact that Jean Pascal was excellent and has accolades at 175. Okay. So I gotta put him first. Now, Golovkin, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, one thing that you said that I completely disagree with is Terence Crawford's body of work is better than those guys. Thomas Delorme, Hank Lundy, Raimundo Beltran, all those guys are equivalent to what do you call Matthew Macklin? What's the guy's name? Shit.
Daniel Gill?
No, he was a world champion. The motherfucker that just fought George Groves.
Martin Murray.
Martin Murray. Okay, he was never a world champion. All right. So those guys are equivalent to those 2 guys and more on Golovkin's resume because they were B-level fighters, right? That were never world champions. All right. So we can't count them. So all he really has, if we take those B-level fighters off his resume, is Yuri Gamboa, Ricky Burns, and Viktor Postol. Now, before he beat the number 2 best 140-pound fighter at 140 and Viktor Postol last Saturday, his resume was only slightly better than Gennady Golovkin's. Gennady Golovkin has only beaten, 1 world champion, and that's David Lemieux, right?
Yeah.
1 former world champion. He beat Yuri Gamboa, who used to be the boogeyman of the sport. He knocked him out, right? Along with Lucas Matisse, right? 2 boogeymans of the sport. Viktor Postol knocked out Matisse. Crawford knocked out Yuri Gamboa. That's why that fight was so fucking intriguing, right?
Okay.
And then Ricky Burns, who he beat to get the WBO lightweight title. And then now Ricky Burns has moved up and taken the WBA light welterweight title, the one that was fucking stripped from Adrian Broner for not making weight for Ashley Theophane. Okay. So the Viktor Postol win has eclipsed, resume-wise, Gennady Golovkin. Okay. Now, the only real reason why Gennady Golovkin is ranked number 3 is because motherfuckers are afraid of him. Nobody's fighting him. So therefore, they felt like they had to reward him for the fact that he can't get the fights that he could possibly get at 160 that make him the unified champion to where he can make himself where he is at number 3. No problem with that to an extent when you've got guys under him that are doing better. Okay. In this case, Terence Crawford is doing better. This win this last Saturday should have easily catapulted him over Gennady Golovkin. Okay.
Yeah.
I think he is the number 3 ranked pound-for-pound fighter based on what he has done in his career. As far as Andre Ward, I mean, we're back and forth on that, and I'm in the minority. I don't think Andre Ward should be number one, and it's just mainly. I mean, I know, bro. It hurts me to say it. It hurts me to say it because I know after November, Andre Ward is about to be number one. He's about to beat the shit out of Sergey Kovalev, and he's gonna be number one. Okay. But as of now, the fact that he was inactive for 2 years, bro, and he only came back to beat Paul Smith, and he did beat Sullivan Barrera, but Sullivan Barrera wasn't on the level of the guys that he beat to actually get him the number 2 pound-for-pound ranking in the past. The Arthur Abraham, the Carl Froches, the Mikhail Kesslers. These guys were former and current world champions. Sullivan Barrera has never held a world title. Okay? Yeah. So he's not on their level. So you can't catapult him back to number 2 or number 1 status just for those 2 wins due to all that inactivity. Now, understand, pound for pound rankings matter. What you've done in your career matters. Yeah. But it also matters what have you done lately, okay? Because if that's the case, Manny Pacquiao will be like number 1 all the goddamn time based on his fucking career, okay? But what he has done lately, he's not even in the top 5. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why Andre Ward can't be number 1 for me. All right.
Okay.
You got
good point.
You got anything to counter?
I mean, it all goes back to what you said, man. His body of work to me speaks for itself. Even though these other guys have been active, they haven't beaten nowhere near the guys that Andre Ward has beaten. You know, you could probably, like you said, you can make a case for Chocolatito. He's beaten 8 all these world champions and stuff like that. I definitely agree with that. But Sergey Kovalev hasn't fought any of what Andre Ward has fought. You know, yes, he has Bernard Hopkins on his resume, but at the end of the day, I don't think that his resume as a whole can hold water to Andre Ward's resume. You know?
Oh, no, not at all. I agree with that. It's just what he's done lately.
Yeah. So, I think that's the fascinating thing about the Andre Ward argument is a lot of guys have that standpoint. You know, what has he done lately? You know, whereas guys like myself, you know, we're kind of like, hey, as a whole, you know what I mean? This kind of supports why he should be number 1. And I really feel that way. Now, when he comes back and he fights Kovalev, you know, I'm definitely picking him to win. He will get back that number 1 spot. It's a spot that, you know, I don't think he ever should have lost, but hey, you know, it is what it is. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see, man. Like I said, I think throughout his career, he's done just some unbelievable things. You know, he won the Super 6 World Tournament. He was beating guys like Edison Miranda, and I mean, just all these guys. He was taking these guys out. Right. You know? So, like I said, when I look at just other guys' resumes who have these top rankings, you know, especially 2 and 3, I mean, come on, Dad. I'm just a little uneasy about it. But come November, I guess we'll see.
All right, great debate. You too, let us know what you think. Do you think Terence Crawford has done enough to pretty much take one of the 3 top spots on the pound-for-pound list? Or is it a rightful ranking position where he's at right now, only taking Guillermo Rigondeaux's spot, staying behind Andre Ward, Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev, and Roman Gonzalez? Let us know what you think. We'll be real. This is Real Talk for Real Fans. 1.